Hello everyone, welcome to my class. Today's lesson, we are going to discuss about the passive voice. But before we discuss about the passive voice, so we have to pray first. Let's pray, begin. Finish. Have you ever heard about the passive voice? Alright, today we are gonna discuss about active and the passive voice. From the beginning, let's discuss about the explanation of active voice and the passive voice. The active voice is... Next, we are going to discuss about the explanation of passive voice. The passive voice is... No, absolutely is not that long explanation. We have to make it simple way. The active voice is the subject. Remember, the subject is doing the activity on that sentence, of course. Passive voice is the object is doing the activity on that sentence. So remember, the object is doing the activity on that passive voice. Active voice, the subject is doing the activity, but for the passive voice, the object is doing the activity. Now, let's take a look at the example of active and passive voice. First, we have active voice example. We have Tono writes a letter. Before we go further, let's mark it. Tono is a subject and write is verb 1. Then a letter is an object. Don't forget, verb using s or es like this, it is a simple present tense. So, what is simple present tense? Did you remember? The definition of simple present tense is to express the habitual and the fact. Now, take a look at the passive form of simple present tense. Now, let's take a look at the active form. The active form, we have the object of the active form. We make it the first word in the passive sentence. So, a letter is written by Tono. Let's mark it. A letter is subject and is written is verb 3 and by Tono. Tono here is an object. Is here is a be form. Be form, it depends on that subject because here a letter is a singular form, so we use is. Next, here more examples of the passive sentence. Letters are written by Tono and a letter is written. That's fine. If you use a letter is written, that's fine. We don't need the object it's fine. Here we have the active. Tono wrote a letter. Let's mark it. Tono as a subject, and wrote is verb 2, and a letter is an object. Why we use the verb 2? Remember, verb 2 is used only simple past tense. Questions: what is simple past tense? Simple past tense is to express event happened in the past time. Then let's take a look passive form. The passive form is a letter was written by Tono. Let's mark it. Here a letter as a subject, and we have was, then written as verb 3, then by Tono is an object. Be here is was. Remember, be, it always depends on the subject. Because the subject is a letter, it's a singular, we use was. How is the letter is so many letters? Letters were written by Tono. That's fine. Or a letter was written. That's fine. Now let's take a look at the other examples. We have active form. Tono will write a letter. Let's mark it. Tono is a subject. Will and write is verb 1, followed by a letter. Letter is an object as usual. Will, here is an auxiliary. If you see this sentence, it is a simple future tense. So what is simple future tense? To express event that will happen in the future. The auxiliary is needed, like will, am, is, are, going to, or shall. This is the passive form of simple future tense. A letter will be written by Tono. Let's mark it. A letter here is an subject, followed by will be. Be is be form. Then written is verb 3 by Tono is an object. Or you can say a letter will be written. That's fine. Remember guys, the formula of present tense, past tense, and future tense. Here's more example of 3 simple tenses. The first, simple present tense, simple past tense, and simple future tense. Are you see the differences? Let's pay attention. Be careful. Not all the sentences cannot be transformed into the passive voice. The transitive verbs cannot be transformed to the passive voice. Remember, there are 2 forms of verbs. First, transitive verbs. Second is intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs is a verb that requires direct object. And intransitive verbs do not require the object in the sentence. Let's look an example. Number 1, we have Joko buys cake. Of course, this one is transitive verbs. It can change into passive voice. It will, cake is bought by Joko. Number 2, Rudy arrived late. Arrived here, it's intransitive verbs. So it cannot be transformed into the passive voice. Remember. Now, let's have some practices. Guys, can you find where is the passive sentence? This one or this one? Have you found it? The correct answer is the cakes are made by someone. Because what? Because be is followed by verb 3. Are followed by made as a verb 3. Remember, the passive is always be form followed by verb 3. This sentence is simple present tense. Next, we have other exercises. Here I have a text. Now, can you find two passive sentences in this text? Okay, let's see where is the passive sentence hide. The first sentence is in here. The second sentence is in here. Did you get it? Let's have more exercises. Now I have a text. Can you find 13 passive sentences in this text? I'll give you 3 minutes to find 13 passive sentences. Let's begin. Time is up. Have you found it? Let's answer the questions. Let's see where is the 13 passive sentences hide. Here it is. Is that your answer correct with mine? Come on, let's do more exercise. Now you have to transform these sentences into passive or active form. One has been done for you. Okay, time is up. Let's see the correct answer. Number 2, we have passive sentence. An expensive car will be driven by my dad. So you have to write the active form, right? The active form is my dad will drive an expensive car. That's the correct answer. Number 3, you have to answer the passive form. We have active here. My friends bought many clothes. So the passive answer is many clothes were bought by my friends. That's the correct answer. Next number, we have active form here. So you have to do the passive form, right? We have the active form is Bayu sang beautiful songs. Let's take a look at the correct answer with passive form. Beautiful songs were sung by Bayu. That's the correct answer. The last number, the passive form, novel are read by one of my friends. So you guys have to do is write the active form. The correct answer is one of my friends reads novels. That's the correct answer. One of my friends, just one. So we have used reads S. one of my friends. Don't forget, only one. Okay, here is the end of my class. So I have homework for you guys to do in your home. These are the homeworks, so you have to do correctly. You can collect by tomorrow in my email here. Don't forget to send it tomorrow. Well, this is the end of our discussion. What we have learned today? Can you tell me? We have learned about the active and the passive form. Remember, the passive form is always be followed by verb 3. Be always followed by verb 3. That's the passive voice. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, understand what we have learned today, active and passive voice. We will meet again on the next video. So the end of the word is bye bye.